Hello my dear friends and welcome back to another Star Wars news update. In today's video we're going to be talking about a brand new Star Wars series which hasn't been announced. We're also going to be looking at some new information for the Book of Boba Fett, Rogue One and more. But without much further ado and without any more jibber jabber, let's just dive straight into it. An unannounced upcoming Star Wars project, dubbed Star Wars Tales of the Jedi, has emerged on a Lucasfilm crew gift which leaked on Imgur. A series of images featuring an official crew holiday gift given to members of Lucasfilm featured the logos of Star Wars projects, and amongst them was the suspicious Tales of the Jedi. It is seen alongside the Bad Batch logo and that of Star Wars Visions, and the other side features the Book of Boba Fett, Andor and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now you might recognize this logo if you're familiar with Star Wars comics, because this logo takes direct inspiration from the Dark Horse comic series of the same name, which were released from 1993 until 1998 and were set during the Old Republic era. Now it's not yet known if this upcoming series is going to be directly connected to the comic series. After all, Dark Horse are going to start making Star Wars comics once again, but in either case, my dear friends, the fact that this logo was placed next to two other animated shows, The Bad Batch and Visions, could imply that Tales of the Jedi is also going to be animated. Now, the original Tales of the Jedi Dark Horse comics were based during the Great Sith War and focused on Jedi turned Sith Ulic Queldroma and his love interest Nomi Sunrider. It's unknown if it's going to connect, but the similarity in the logo is really unmistakable, and also given the upcoming KOTOR remake, it's quite likely this could also be set during the Old Republic era. But having said that, one or two leakers, including Jordan Mason, believe that it could be for the rumoured upcoming animated High Republic series, which connects the books and the comics. But you know what? It's 50-50. It could really go either way, because there is evidence they are trying to revamp the Old Republic by listening to fans who wanted the Knights of the Old Republic remake. But on the other hand, while it's not everyone's cup of tea, myself included, it could very well be a series based in the High Republic. Now personally, my own bias would be towards the Dark Horse comics. I would love them to revisit those stories, and this time in animated form. But like I say, there's been no announcement. This is simply a logo leak, and we're trying to piece together everything we know based on recent rumours for upcoming animated projects, as well as what we know about the push for the High Republic, but also Lucasfilm being willing to revisit the Old Republic, not only with the KOTOR remake, but also maybe with a tie-in film, series or animated project. So now guys, we're going to move on and talk about the Book of Boba Fett. It's just a small tidbit, but according to the press release for Disney+, the Book of Boba Fett is confirmed to be using a chapter system. And contrary to some rumours that we heard earlier in the year, it's not going to be chapter 17, 18 and so on. The Book of Boba starts at chapter 1. And with 7 episodes, it's going to be chapters 1 to 7. So while it is a spin-off of The Mandalorian and connected in many ways, even using a chaptering system, the fact that it starts at chapter 1 and not picking off from The Mandalorian season 2 with chapter 17 just reiterates even further it is its own series. We don't know the names of any of the chapters yet, but word on the street is that once again Dave Filoni might have chapter 5. He is confirmed to be directing one of the episodes, and if The Mandalorian season 2 is anything to go off, if any characters, fan favourite characters, are going to appear from the Clone Wars, Rebels or the Bad Batch, it's going to be in Filoni's episode. So if the leaks about Cad Bane are true, then I think there's a good chance it's going to be in the Filoni episode, because he loves to make his episode memorable and also show off a bit, and as a director he does it brilliantly. In The Mandalorian season 2 he of course had chapter 13, which was the Ahsoka episode on Corvus, and to this day that remains one of the best directed episodes of the entire series. The reason it mattered so much is that Filoni brought his baby into live action. Ahsoka is his character, and we've seen her development and animation in the Clone Wars and then of course Star Wars Rebels, and so to finally bring her into live action in The Mandalorian season 2 was such a huge moment. So I'm sure he's going to be using his episode in the Book of Boba Fett to bring in other characters we've only seen in the animated shows, and I cannot think of anyone better than Cad Bane, another one of Filoni's characters. And so now, my dear friends, we're going to talk about Star Wars Eclipse, and apparently it's already in trouble. This report comes from video game leaker Tom Henderson, who shared some new details on the troubled development of the upcoming Star Wars Eclipse. Note that he was the first one to break the news that Quantic Dream were working on a Star Wars title, and since he ended up being correct, I trust what he has to say about this game. So even though the game is rumoured to be at least 4 years away and still in very early development, they are facing engine issues for the title, something that was reported previously, but the extent of it was not known. The engine's architecture was built for confined levels with small areas to explore and a limited number of AI. Apparently, Star Wars Eclipse is going to be a multi-planet exploring title with open world elements, and now we've learned that the Quantic Dream engine cannot work for such an ambitious game, and apparently they've bit off more than they can chew. And this was one of the reasons the studio was looking to be acquired. So then Henderson goes on to claim that the studio is also having issues with the multiplayer aspect of the game, as the studio has never attempted to make a title with multiplayer elements ever before. And given the controversies going on with Quantic Dream and David Cage, many fans are wondering why Lucasfilm decided to work with them. On top of all of this, there are issues within the company itself, as Quantic Dream Paris is having issues hiring staff to work on Star Wars Eclipse, with the studio currently looking to employ a third of its studio capacity, with well over 60 jobs available. And the allegations against David Cage and the company as a whole is the reason the studio is having these issues. And Tom Henderson's verdict, as well as the verdict of many others, is that he wouldn't be surprised if the title never makes it. And as with so many other projects, especially in Star Wars gaming, we would not be surprised if this title never sees the light of day. Now look, the cinematic trailer for this game looked absolutely insane, but that was never going to reflect in the gameplay itself. And I think the two biggest games that Star Wars fans are looking forward to are Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order 2, which we should get an announcement for in July, and of course, LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, which is due to be released in the spring. As we spoke about in the past, LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga has faced so many delays, we just can't trust the release windows anymore. Until the game drops, we just have to assume the game is in development and it's getting along slowly. So to finish things off, my dear friends, we're going to be talking about Felicity Jones, who of course played Jyn Erso in Rogue One, the rebel hero who died on Scarif with Cassian Andor. Now, over the last few days we've been talking about new tidbits of Rogue One because this year marks the 5-year anniversary. And given we're getting a prequel to the movie with the Andor series, and also the fact that Rogue One is considered the best Star Wars movie under Disney, it's always refreshing to talk about it. And Felicity Jones gave an interview with StarWars.com expressing her love of Star Wars and what it was like on the set of Rogue One. But here's the thing, guys, while there's no doubt this is a great and touching article and I recommend you read it, I kind of want to talk about something else when it comes to Jyn Erso and the actress who plays her, Felicity Jones. This interview has caused a lot of other articles to resurface, specifically the ones from earlier in the year when she expressed she wants to return to Star Wars as Jyn. When the interviewer laughed and told her, "How is that possible since your character died?" she said, "It's Star Wars and anyone can come back. I guess the only problem is the Death Star obliterated Scarif, so it's pretty impossible that she survived. But considering the Andor series is 3 seasons long and takes place 5 years before the events of Rogue One, there's no reason she couldn't appear at some stage in that show. Although just like Cassian, we know how their story ends by the end of Rogue One." Now when it comes to Jyn Erso, I've seen some really interesting fan theories that talk about the world between worlds and how in theory you could bring back Jyn and Cassian, but the inevitable question would be, why? What would be the purpose of it? And where would it happen? That is a very unlikely story to be told, but any sort of prequel to A New Hope / Rogue One could feature Felicity Jones as Jyn Erso. The only problem with having Jyn in a future season of Andor is you can't have her interact with Cassian because they haven't met yet, and as we see in Rogue One, they only meet later on in the timeline. So her story would have to be isolated. In either case, it's really not convenient nor easy to bring back her character. I'm gonna say she's absolutely 100% dead, and I really don't think you can Palpatine or Boba Fett her character. So as much as she wants to return, it would have to be in a prequel or never at all. But what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts of this and everything we spoke about in the comments down below. What do you think Tales of the Jedi is about? Is it going to be an animated or live action series? And will it be Old Republic or High Republic? Also tell me your thoughts on the Book of Boba Fett news, and of course Jyn Erso 5 years on from Rogue One. But otherwise, my dear friends, that brings us to the end of this news update. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're brand new, and a massive welcome if you are. And if you're feeling generous, please consider becoming a patron. The link is right down there in the description, and you get exclusive videos that are not found here on YouTube, and you also get access to our Discord server. May the Force be with you all. Merry Christmas if you celebrate it. Happy festive season. I'm Star Wars Meg, and I'll see you in the next one.